So, excuse the new angle. I'm trying out something. This is the same angle I did in the my first ever video, and yeah, I mean it's all right. I think I prefer the old one. I'm just gonna try it again, and yeah. So anyway, uh, and onto the actual topic of the video. Today I'm going to be telling you about the one of the execution methods that disturbed me the most in history. And no, I am not talking about hanging, drawing, and quartering because that is horrifying, but it's not the one that disturbs me the most. This is the drowning of the witches. Um, Used in the 17th century, especially in, well, yeah, both in America and in England and Europe. And it's during the whole witch trials, Inquisition, that kind of stuff. And I love that execution method, but I do mean trial. And let me explain. So you've probably heard of it, and I just thought I'd concentrate one video on this thing specifically because it's so horrifying, but interesting, but horrifying. Okay, so you have a woman. Was I think it was all women, if not 99% women, and these were women who were suspected of being witches. Depends on the criteria. People accused by their neighbors. They did weird stuff. I don't know. A woman was accused of being a witch. Now, they before they had just burn the witch at the stake, or have a trial and then burn the witch at the stake. But you also had this. Well, this is more of a. I think this was prior to the burning at the stake. Well, it could have been the same time. I'm not exactly sure where those mixed, but I know this was an actual method. So, I mean, under King James in England, that was James I, this was used. So, how would it work? The woman accused of being a witch would be brought to a lake, and their arms would be tied, and she would be blindfolded. And here's the reasoning. They thought that if a woman was a witch, she would float, she wouldn't sink. But if a woman was not a witch, she wouldn't know how to float, so she would sink. And she was not a witch, so if she was a witch, she would float. If she wasn't a witch, she would sink. And if she proved to be a witch, she would be then burned at the stake. Little thing, if you are a witch, you're guaranteed to die because you would float and then you would be burned at the stake. If you were not a witch, you were also guaranteed to die because, well, if you floated down, or fell down and sank down, you would be tired, you can move, you would drown. So that is highly disturbing because it's not like they had trial with evidence and stuff. They said, okay, we think you're a witch, let's just throw you into a lake and see if you survive. Some women did float, and these women were considered witches, hence them being burned at the stake. But yeah, it's just truly horrifying. They just tied this woman up and just threw them into a lake, and boom, they would most likely die because witches, to our knowledge, aren't real. And I do say to our knowledge because who knows? Witches in the traditional sense. There's other kinds which are real, but the traditional sense of fantasy, spells, bewitching, hexes, those that we know of don't exist. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just thought I'd concentrate a video on it. I don't have any specific names or numbers, and even if I did, I have forgotten them because it is 1 a.m. So sorry about that. That is a bad habit of mine. But So many, like thousands of women died because of this. I'm not kidding, thousands, look it up. Because, well, women just wouldn't be left alone. Say a woman had a black cat, which, say everyone got sick in their village except her because she was a bit extra sanitary. She was a witch. What if she suddenly had a bit of extra food? She was a witch. And let's just say you have a neighbor, you're a man, and you have this woman who's your neighbor, and you don't like her. She gives you really bad vibes. You just say she turned your brother into a dog, into a frog. Boom, a witch. And because people hated witches so much, any accusation of a witch would immediately lead to this trial. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's really not a huge thing to talk about. I just thought I'd mention it because it is a really important bit of history and it's kind of overlooked. But it's also this really brutal method of executing women because they were weird. Anyway, that's it. So I'm going to leave it there. That is all I'm going to talk about. So yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope you found it interesting. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. I do not know why this won't work. I've tried clicking it before I finished saying so it would load. I really don't know how this works for shutting it down. It did work for turning it on, but for shutting it down, it does not work. So I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try again. Let's hope it works. Bye.